everyone, good morning. I hope you all are fine. I am P. Ushasri, social teacher working in Srimati Godavari Devi Sharaf High School. Today we are going to have our first learning experience through our recorded videos. I hope you all are excited. So let us begin today's session. Our session starts with History, Chapter 1, Medieval Period. Children, introduction of the medieval period in Indian history. The history of India is divided into three different periods: ancient period, the medieval period, the modern period. You have already read about the ancient period in class 6. Now you will learn about the medieval period in class 7 and modern period you will learn in 8th class. Now we will start chapter 1, the medieval period in history. In this chapter, we will learn about introduction of medieval period, about cartography, sources of medieval period. So let us start the period that lies between the ancient and modern periods of history is known as the medieval period. The medieval period is stretched from the 8th to 18th century. This period covers many centuries. A century has 100 years. So the medieval period in India covers about 1000 years. For better understanding, historians divided this period into two parts: the early medieval period, the later medieval period. The early medieval period stretched from the 8th to 13th century. The Palas, the Pratiharas, the Rashtrakutas, the Cholas and the Rajputs were powerful ruling dynasties during this period. Means most of the studies based on these powerful ruling dynasties in this period. That means the 8th to 13th century. Second is later medieval period. It is lasted from 13th to 18th century. It covers the rules of Turks, Afghans and the Mughals. They were the foreign invaders. Foreign invaders means those who come from other countries and they invaded India during this period. Now, the many names of India. Our country commonly refers to as Bharat, India or Hindustan. But India was known by different names at different points in history. Bharatvash and Jambudvipa are the two of the early names by which our country was known in ancient times. In this medieval period, the rulers of Delhi Sultanate and the Mughals called their domain as Hindustan. Min-i-Siraj, a chronicler in the 13th century, used the term Hindustan for the areas of Punjab, Haryana and the lands between Ganga and Yamuna and other Delhi Sultanate. Babur used the term Hindustan to describe the geography, natural vegetation and culture of inhabitants of subcontinent. And in 19th century, Britishers used the name India for this subcontinent. Now, children, I will tell about cartography. Cartography is the art of drawing or making maps, and a person who makes maps is referred to as cartographer. We use maps to learn about the location and geographical features of a region or a country. In ancient time, people were unknown about cartography. But in medieval period, the growth of trade and expansion of empires created the need for maps. So the Arabs and Europeans developed cartography. Now you think, how did India introduce about cartography? So through the trade, contact with Arabs and the Europeans introduced cartography. Take a look at Map 1 and Map 2. Map 1 was made in 1154 CE by the Arab geographer Al-Idrisi. In this map, place names are marked in Arabic. Next, map 2. Map 2 was made nearly 600 years after map 1. This map was made in the 1720s by a French cartographer. This map seems more familiar to us and provides detailed information about coastal areas. This map used by many European sailors and merchants. Next, we are going to learn about sources of medieval history. The historical sources for studying the medieval period can be divided into archaeological sources, literary sources. Now, archaeological sources. It includes monuments, coins, inscriptions and artifacts. Let us learn these one by one. Firstly, let us learn about monuments. Monuments are old buildings like temples, mosques, tombs, forts and palaces. During medieval period, a large number of monuments were built. These monuments tell us about the engineering and architecture styles of that times. The second source are coins. Coins were issued by almost all the rulers of medieval period. These coins were made up of different metals like gold, silver, copper, etc. Coins gives the names of rulers, who issued them and the date of their issue, and then also help us to understand the economical condition of a kingdom. The study of coins is called numismatics and the person who studies them is called numismatist. Now, inscriptions. Inscriptions are written records engraved on hard surfaces such as stone tablets, pillars, metal plates, etc. Inscriptions give us information about the names of kings, the extension of their empire and their victories in battles, etc. The study of inscriptions is called epigraphy, and a person who studies inscriptions is called epigraphist. Now, artifacts. Artifacts are man-made objects such as tools and weapons, ornaments, pottery, seals, etc. Utensils, etc. They tell us about the kind of life people lived, their occupations and their social setup. Paintings. Paintings are another valuable source. They tell us about the customs, food habits, dress, jewelry of the people of that period. Many styles of miniature paintings evolved during this period. Now, literary sources. It refers to the written records of past. A number of written records are available in this period because paper was introduced around 13th century in India and it became more common and cheaper. That take written during the medieval period, preserved in libraries and archives. Archive is a place where the historical records and documents are stored. In this medieval period, there were no printing press. So, scribes copied the documents by hand. Scribes were people who are employed to keep records. They made copies of original documents. Literary sources. Now, one by one, we will understand the literary sources. Chronicles, autobiographies, biographies, foreign traveler accounts. Now, chronicles. Chronicles are the records of the rule of kings and life at the court. Most kings had court chronicles who wrote in detail about what happened during the their reason. Some important chronicles of medieval period are Rajtarangani, written by Kalhana. It is the history of the kings of Kashmir. Tarikh-e-Firozshahi, written by Ziauddin Barni. It describes the history of sultans of Delhi. Tughlaqnama, written by Amir Khusrau, deal with reason of Tughlaq. The most important autobiographies are the stories of people written by themselves or the same person. The most important autobiographies are Futuhat-e-Firozshahi, written by Firoz Shah Tughlaq, Babarnama by Babar, Tujki-Jahangiri, written by Emperor Jahangir. These are the autobiographies. Now, biographies. Biographies are the stories of people, life written by someone else. Some important biographies of the medieval period are Prithviraj Raso, written by Chand Badai. This biography describes life and adventures of Chauhan ruler Prithviraj Chauhan. Humayun Nama, written by Gulbadan Begum. It gives a lot of information about the Mughal Emperor Humayun. Akbar Nama by Abul Fazl. It describes the events of Emperor Akbar's reign. Now coming to travelers' accounts. Traveler accounts are foreign travelers visited India during the medieval period. They wrote their journey and experiences in their accounts. Some of the names are Al-Biruni, who came from Central Asia. Ibn Battuta came from Morocco. Marco Polo and Niccolo Conti came from Italy. Bernier came from France. All these sources give us lot of information about medieval period. Children, listen the video carefully and understand. Tomorrow I ask the questions in this lesson. Thank you.